Hello, welcome to the webinar on Shaping the Future of Fashion, a Business Marketing Perspective. My name is Debbie Pratt and I am the Academic Course Manager for the Fashion Degree programs here at Box Hill Institute. And I'm just waiting for a few more attendees to join the webinar. So we'll just give it maybe another sort of 15 to 20 seconds. But today we will have two other presenters joining us. We will also have Nadia and Danielle Cumberbatch. Danielle is experiencing a few technical issues at the moment, but hopefully she'll get on board by the time we progress through the webinar. Okay, so we'll just wait a few more seconds till a few more people join, and then I will move to the agenda for the webinar. Just to let you know, this PowerPoint is available in the handout tab on the webinar, so you can actually download this PowerPoint for your reference. So I'll now move to the agenda. So welcome everyone and thanks for registering for this webinar. As I mentioned, I am going to be the host today and I will have two other presenters. We'll talk a little bit about Box Hill Institute. I'm going to then share with you some facts about the industry. I'll then do a bit of an overview of the course with a focus on the Bachelor of Fashion Merchandising degree. We'll then discuss some of the career outcomes, look at the industry projects and internships, why you should study the Bachelor of Fashion Merchandising at Box Hill Institute. And I'm going to have a bit of a Q&A with both of our presenters. So feel free to ask questions via the chat button. We'll have questions at the end and then we'll finish off with a video on how to apply. So in terms of the presenters, myself, Debbie Pratt, as I mentioned before, I'm the Academic Course Manager. I have had 25 years experience in the fashion industry. I started off as a young designer and then moved into more of a brand management and apparel management type roles. I've been in education for 10 years now, which I absolutely love. Love just teaching fashion to the younger generation. And I've had experience working with really large international organisations and then small family-run businesses. So I bring to the role a really diverse range of experiences, working in all sorts of different types of businesses and working very closely on the fashion business side of it as well as the creative side. Nadia is one of our other guest presenters today, is the founder and creative director of a luxury women's wear clothing label called Nadia. Nadia is passionate about sustainability and all of her garments are made to order, and they're also made from natural materials and quality dead stock fabrics. Nadia is the sustainability lecturer at Box Hill Institute, but she also teaches fashion merchandising, CAD and business planning. Our third presenter, Danielle Cumberbatch, is a multi-skilled freelance fashion designer with a large portfolio of clients worldwide. She's also a creative entrepreneur who helps start-up and established brands successfully design, sample and manufacture goods offshore. Previously, Danielle worked as a senior fashion designer for a large wholesale business called Design Works. And then she went on to start her own apparel business. I think it was a kidswear brand before moving into a full-time freelancing role. So she has an amazing understanding also of running her own fashion business. Both Nadia and Danielle are Box Hill Institute fashion alumni. So Box Hill Institute has over 37,000 students. And we offer a diverse range of courses ranging from certificates to degrees. Our vision is to help students grow into proud and successful learners who are valued by industry and community. And we have 5 core strategic themes which are at the core of our educational delivery. I'd like to highlight maybe the first 3 themes. Students at heart. is all about ensuring that our students are equipped with the skills to pursue their passion through a high quality and memorable education experience. Delivering quality education is about empowering our students to acquire the skills they need for success. And we have strong industry partnerships which ensure we are relevant and constantly innovating to keep us on top of our game and provide real-life learning experiences for our students. We have 3 campus locations. They're located in the city at Box Hill and Lilydale. And our fashion degree programs are based in the city, in the heart of retail in Flinders Lane, near the corner of De Grave Street, where you can get great coffee. And also in Box Hill, where our design hub is located and a lot of our other creative courses. So now I just want to share a few facts about the fashion industry with you. The global retail fashion market is worth a massive $1.34 trillion. And the Australian fashion retail industry is valued at 15.7 billion. Industry revenue is forecast to grow at an annualised 1.4% over the 5 years through to 2025 to almost 16.9 billion. And this includes strong growth in the next couple of years as the industry is projected to recover from the negative effects of the current COVID-19 outbreak. The retail industry is one of Australia's largest employers and makes a significant contribution to economic output. Women's wear apparel still dominates the retail sector with 47% market share, but followed closely behind that is men's clothing as well as accessories, who both also have significant market share in the Australian fashion retail industry. And many of our graduates have secured roles in women's apparel, but they have also moved into other categories, such as accessories or even homewares. In terms of the priority skills for our industry over the next few years, the 2019 Textiles, Clothing and Footwear Skills Forecast identified the following development priorities over the next few years, and that includes fashion business knowledge, new technologies and materials, ethical sourcing, and supply chain management and technology. And in addition to this, there's 5 generic types of skills that were also listed, again, including technology, but also having a design mindset and the ability to think critically and problem solve. Communication and collaboration skills are viewed really important in our industry. It's all about teamwork. Information literacy and the ability to work autonomously. And lastly, customer service and marketing skills are also going to be really important. Our fashion degree programs address many of these skills where students learn new technologies and apply communication and collaborative skills through our group projects and also working with industry professionals. The fashion industry has experienced a digital disruption over the past 15 years. The most important technological change in the industry has been the rise of online shopping and digital marketing. Who doesn't love buying something online? 88% of Australians aged between 15 and 64 are active social media users. And Instagram in particular is the most popular social media platform used in fashion. Around the world, shoppers are buying more apparel and shoes than ever before. And by 2022, the global e-commerce fashion industry is projected to grow to a massive $713 billion. Experts predict the e-commerce segment of fashion and apparel will grow at a compound rate of 10.6% until 2022. There is a growing skills shortage for social media and digital marketing roles. Job advertisements have grown significantly for these types of roles, as indicated by this graph. Our fashion merchandising degree addresses skills in our business marketing stream. Students will complete subjects such as social media marketing, where they learn to develop a social media strategy, and web development, where they'll actually get to create an e-commerce store using the Shopify platform. So if we look at the actual course, there are 4 key streams in our Bachelor of Fashion Merchandising, which has a focus on business and marketing. So with those 4 streams, we have our fashion range development stream, we have our general business subjects, we have our core retail merchandising stream, and then lastly, our digital marketing stream. Students will gain knowledge and skills on market research, trend research, assortment planning, and developing visual range plans for fashion brands. Real-life case studies provide students the opportunities to engage with industry professionals throughout the course. And the final capstone project is an industry collaborative project where students get to work in teams and respond to an industry brief provided by one of our industry partners. And last year we worked with Cotton On, and we had an amazing experience working with the buying team, and the students got to research and develop a range for one of the buying teams at Cotton On. Students will also gain general business skills and specifically learn about the roles of fashion buyers, fashion marketers, and visual merchandisers. And in their final year, the students will complete an internship, which I'll discuss later in the webinar. The course is an applied learning degree, so it's really hands-on, and it provides students with the skills and knowledge that address the industry needs. So I'd now like to introduce Nadia Foti, and we're just going to have a little bit of a Q&A. So I'm going to ask Nadia a few questions. So thanks for joining us today, Nadia. Nadia is actually one of our award-winning BHI alumni. So Nadia, maybe if you could just start off by telling us a little bit about your background, you know, where your career journey after graduating from Box Hill. Yeah, so if you could start with that, it'd be great.
Okay. Hi everyone. Thanks for joining the webinar. So yes, I studied at Box Hill, and I did a clothing and production diploma. And yeah, since then I've had such a vast and varied career. I worked as a design and production assistant for a Russian company in Australia. And then through Box Hill, I entered a competition and I won the Australasian Young Designer of the Year award. And that was, I really do thank Box Hill, because if I hadn't learned all the incredible technical skills on sewing and construction, I wouldn't have been able to make an award-winning gown. Yeah, so I actually won a scholarship to study in Milan, and I unofficially worked for Vogue Italia during Milan Fashion Week, which was amazing, as you can imagine. It's kind of you know, when you're studying fashion, that's kind of like the pinnacle dream to work in Milan or for Fashion Week. So after that, I realized I needed to do more study, so I came back and did a bit more study. I worked for a hand knitting yarn company. So yeah, it's such a varied role. I was the creative assistant there, and I did a lot of yeah. So I helped with creating patterns. I helped with trend research and all those kinds of things. And then I became the design and offshore production coordinator for Mariana Hardwick. So that is a really beautiful bridal place in Melbourne. If you know bridal, it's one of the leading bridal boutiques. So I did that, and then I realized that I love teaching, and I'm now a teacher.
And we love having you as part of our teaching team. So going back to your studies at Box Hill, what did you enjoy the most about your time at Box Hill Institute?
So I really loved, I really felt as a student there that the teachers really cared, and they really nurtured you to grow and achieve your passions. So they really give you the tools, they really give you the support. And because I've studied at other places, and I really felt like Box Hill really gave a lot of support. So I was really grateful for that. And also I love the technical skills, because if you know, it's very hands-on, and you actually learn how to create your own patterns if you do the design course, but even the merchandising course, you actually understand how to run your own business, which is so important because you can't without these skills.
Yeah. And today you are running your own business, the wonderful label
Yes.
under your own name, Nadia Poti.
Yes.
So what have you learned? Like, what have you learned about running your own business? What have you found being, what are the sort of skills that have been really important for running your own business?
Social media marketing is a very important skill that
Yeah.
I'm learning. I'm still learning, but that is one of the fundamental skills, because I understand through Box Hill, I've got all the skills on how to actually produce, manufacture, make, and do the whole product line. But now I'm learning hands-on how to actually structure the business, talking more about profit and, normally you don't like to talk about money, but you need to learn about it and you have to have a successful business. So yeah.
Yeah, it's a really important side of it, isn't it? So it's great to be able to have that creative ability, but also understanding the business side is just really important today. And so you're now lecturing with us in the across both degree programs, the Bachelor of Fashion and the Bachelor of Fashion Merchandising. But why did you decide to get into lecturing, and what do you love most about lecturing?
Well, it was kind of like a natural progression. It was such a strange thing. I've realized that I really love sharing my knowledge. I really like helping people, and I really love mentoring people to, achieve their dreams. And I realized that teaching would be perfect because I've got so much knowledge that I want to share about the fashion industry, and I really wanted to give back to the next generation of aspiring fashion designers. So I approached Debbie, and things sort of fell into place.
We love having you as part of our teaching team, and we know that you're currently teaching Fashion Futures, which is our sustainability third year subject, which is taught across both our degree programs, as well as range planning and CAD, because we know how important CAD is. That's Adobe Illustrator and InDesign and Photoshop, a really important skill for the industry today. And business planning. So if we do have, budding young entrepreneurs out there, it's really important to know how to write a business plan. So maybe you could just tell us briefly about some of those subjects. And I know we do have some slides on one of the students' projects to show as well.
Okay, well, I'll start with business planning. So with business planning, we kind of really look at how to come up with a business idea and take that idea all the way through to an actual business plan. So by the end of the semester, you have a business plan that you can take away and actually start a business if that's what you choose to do. So it's quite comprehensive.
Right.
And then with sustainability, so we really look at all the different aspects on sustainability. We look at supply chain, we look at the ethics behind it, what is this, we look at fabrics, we look at design thinking. It's quite a broad, comprehensive view on sustainability. And we split into two streams. We've got the design section, and then we also got the fashion merchandising. So with the fashion merchandising, we created a sustainable capsule collection for H&M, which was a really wonderful project.
And such an important topic, particularly going forward in our industry. We're all talking about sustainability and circular economy, so really important topic today. And lastly, fashion range. So tell us a little bit about fashion range, and would you like me to bring up the project?
Yes. Bring up the slides,
okay,
please.
So I've just got to click out of presentation mode. I won't be a minute, and here we go.
It's working?
Yep.
Okay, I can't see it, but so with fashion merchandising, it's such an incredible subject. I'm a bit biased because I do teach it, but so we look at basically you look at a range. So for example, we looked at Sports Girl, and then you actually go into store visits, you analyze the range, analyze the drops, and then you see what kind of things that they're missing in their range, and then you actually design a range according to what you believe that are some key opportunities for them to grow within their brand. And then you create a mood board, you create look at the trends, see what's happening, and then you actually create a range for that particular brand. I don't know if you can see the slide, but Jordan did a really fun collection that was kind of like Western themed. And
yeah, I've got it up now.
Yeah, and then the end result is basically a completed lookbook of your pitch of what you believe that that brand should create. And you can walk into any job and show them that. And yeah, it's quite an impressive folio.
Great. Well, thank you, Nadia, for joining us today. If you can just hang on for the rest of the webinar, because there could be some questions at the end for you, but really appreciate you just sharing, you know, with everyone your career journey. And yeah, we'll see you at the end of the webinar. So I'm going to keep moving on. Thanks, Nadia. Okay, so I now just want to talk about what type of student is suited to study a Bachelor of Fashion Merchandising at Box Hill Institute. And it's a really diverse cohort that we have. It could be, someone who is looking at just seeking a new career in retail fashion. You might be, say, currently working in a retail role, in a sales assistant type role, wishing to upskill or further your career prospects. Or you might be a budding young entrepreneur and really looking to start your own business. And we have had quite a few students who have completed this course who actually have gone on to start their own businesses in some way. It's also suited to students who really have that passion for fashion. They don't want to be a designer, but they know they love fashion, and maybe have a bit more of a business head, and looking at moving into sort of roles that could be around like fashion buying, visual merchandising or marketing. And I will talk about career prospects shortly. You could be a Year 12 graduate who is completing your VCE. Again, you're really passionate about fashion, but prefer that sort of business side of fashion rather than design, as I mentioned before. Lastly, you could be someone who has maybe completed prior learning, such as a diploma or an advanced diploma in fashion. Again, wanting to go on and upskill yourself to a bachelor. And in that case, we do offer subject credits in our fashion degree program. So talking about career outcomes, there's a few career options, as you can see listed here on the slide. You may consider moving into, say, a fashion buying type role. Now, this role suits someone who's got a really good eye for fashion trends, but they're also good with analysing sales data. And this type of role will provide opportunities for you to travel. You get to work with offshore suppliers, and you get to develop amazing fashion ranges, but you also need to have that sort of good analytical side as well, because a lot of this type of role is about analysing sales data. So it's a combination of a sort of creative type role combined with business. You might want to move into product development, which is generally considered more of an entry type role, which eventually may lead into buying. And this really suits someone who is organised, has good attention to detail, and enjoys both, again, the creative and the technical aspects of the industry. And the technical side is that, might include doing things like creating tech sketches and tech packs, communicating and negotiating with suppliers, following up samples, etc. Some of the students that come into the course have a career goal to become a stylist, and stylists are becoming more and more popular today, and they really suit someone with a creative flair and a good eye for trends, that love working with customers and are really good at creating social media content. And as I have mentioned before, there is this growing need for graduates with digital marketing skills, and so some of our graduates have moved into sort of entry type roles as a social media coordinator or a digital marketing coordinator. And lastly, VM is another area. So a visual merchandiser is responsible for creating really exciting retail spaces and displays. So our students do identify their career paths by third years based on their strengths and their passion, and we've had great successful career outcomes with our graduates securing roles such as assistant buyers, marketing assistants, product developers, and even VMs, or starting their own business. And our internship program, which I'm going to talk about shortly, has also been really successful for our graduates achieving employment through the internship program in those types of roles. So talking about our internship program, our students do complete an internship in their final year. And in this workplace internship program, in the first semester, we do a lot of career planning, where we focus on helping our students really identify what their career path is. We also look at helping them establish their career goals, helping them write their resumes, creating their LinkedIn profile. And the idea is that they apply a lot of their learnings from semester 1 to secure an internship, which they'll complete in their final semester. It's a minimum of 80 hours attending an organisation. It could be 1 day a week for 10 weeks, or 2 days, or a block period of 2 weeks. And this is a really amazing opportunity for students to really gain that real life experience and really help identify if this is the sort of type of role that they want to move into. And looks really great on their CV, having, you know, internships, and you can do multiple internships if you like. Approximately 30% of our graduates have actually gained employment from the internship program every year. So it is a really important part of our fashion degree programs. And you can see some of the many brands that are listed here where our students have secured internships. We also engage with industry professionals throughout the course, and in the final semester, our students will work with an industry partner, as I mentioned before, on a major project that is actually briefed by an industry partner. And this might involve them researching a particular product category, and they get to develop a range, and they will meet with the buying team, with our industry partner throughout the semester, and get really amazing feedback and really get to learn how to engage with an industry professional and a buying team. And last year they did work with Cotton On, with the women's wear denim team. So that was an amazing opportunity for the students. So why would you like to study fashion merchandising at Box Hill Institute? So our course is predominantly based in our city location. As I mentioned before, it is at the heart of retail in Flinders Lane. Our degrees are applied degrees, which means that they're very hands-on, and we really are preparing you. We're making you work ready for the industry. We have fantastic experienced lecturers who are really passionate and committed, as you saw from Nadia, who spoke earlier. And we really do focus on truly developing our students to meet their career aspirations. So you get this amazing one-on-one time with your teachers, and we're really about nurturing you to ensure that you're achieving your career goals. Hence the small class sizes. So it's a really nice sort of intimate environment to learn in. And we've had very successful career outcomes, particularly through our internship program. You get access to all of this amazing industry software programs. WGSN is this worldwide trend forecasting program that's used by organisations all over the world, and you will have access to that. You will learn to use Apparel 21, which is an integrated system that's used by many Australian companies today. And you will also gain amazing skills and knowledge using the Adobe suite, including Illustrator, Photoshop, and InDesign, and that really critical skills for the industry. I have mentioned our involvement with industry professionals, either through projects or guest lecturers. And also you have this great opportunity to get involved in many fashion events behind the scenes, working behind the scenes, you know, at Melbourne Fashion Week or the Virgin Fashion Festival, and many of the other smaller events that happen throughout the year. And you also get to work on collaborative projects. We have a fantastic end of year parade where our students, both design and merchandising, work together to help plan the end of year parade, and they collaborate with many of the other courses, including music and graphic design and VM, to put on this fantastic big showcase event at the end of the year. So that's all I'm going to share with you about the course today. I'm now going to introduce Danielle Cumberbatch. So Danielle, hopefully you're with us, even though you may not have your camera on. You're able to speak?
Yes, I'm still here.
Oh, great, Dan. So yes, apologies everyone that Dan wasn't able to get her webcam on. But Dan, you also are a Box Hill alumni, and maybe you could just share briefly with us about your background and your career journey, because I know you've had an incredible career journey since you graduated from Box Hill.
Yes, that's correct. Thanks, Debbie. And thank you everyone for joining us, and sorry about my webcam. Technical issues aside, I studied the Bachelor of Fashion at Box Hill Institute, and I graduated about 7 years ago now. I've had a crazy 7 years. I graduated with a full-time employment role with DesignWorks. So I completed my internship with DesignWorks, and it was a really great experience. As Debbie touched on before, that students get quite involved in the internship program. Once graduating, I did move into that role. I commenced into a menswear field, which was a little bit out of my comfort zone, but I really wanted to push myself as a designer. Throughout my design process, I think at DesignWorks, I realized that my true passion was kind of more being a cross-category designer, which meant I could really work across multiple design avenues, such as sleepwear, underwear, kidswear. I could also work in the technical space and also within the reading, marketing, sales, and also doing trend forecasting. Once I had kind of reached a senior design level at DesignWorks, I was feeling like a really big drive and passion to start my own kidswear business, because I noticed there was a large gap in the market for organic kidswear. So I remember waking up one day and I just go, you know, I'm going to quit my job. And sure enough, I walked into the office, and I had a little bit of a business plan. I had more passion and more love to start my own label than anything. And yeah, I quit my job, and 4 weeks later, I had I did a lot of background work. So I'd already previously launched the label, and it was ticking along quite nicely. Once I'd kind of reached my peak in manufacturing onshore, because it was an Australian-made brand, I needed assistance moving the brand offshore, and that's when I came across Visionize. And Visionize is now my current full-time freelancing position, and I now help small businesses kickstart their own label or move into sampling and production and assist them along the process. So,
wow, that sounds amazing. What a great role.
Yeah.
So Dan, what do you think are the most important skills that fashion students require for the industry today, having, you know, based on your experience now?
Yeah, I definitely believe having the ability to adapt and work seamlessly with the new technologies that are evolving is one of the key aspects, but also being able to upskill. I do really believe that fashion is no longer just about being creative and being heavily in a design space. I think the world that we live in is evolving, and that designers and companies are now starting to use advancements in social media and technology to then, I guess, build their teams, and making sure that people can work with PR and work with marketing or production, assisting in events or working on trend reports, but they can also manage communication with suppliers and have a good understanding of garment knowledge and how to run or build a fashion business as well. So
wonderful. So what do you think are the opportunities available to fashion students who particularly have studied like a more fashion business type degree?
I believe freelancing is something that I guess back when I first moved into a full-time role, it was something that I never really considered. I found that it would be too risky and there wasn't enough opportunities. But however, now I feel like there's a lot of, whether it be design or style or merchandising agencies that need the support of freelance designers. So whether it only be 10 hours a week or 30 hours a week, there's also websites like Airtasker and Upwork that provide I guess, assistance to small businesses or people who don't have the fashion experience, but they don't need a full-time employment opportunity, I guess, for someone to join their team.
And like you said before, if you've got like that passion and drive, I mean, there's opportunities to even start your own business today, isn't there?
Most definitely. I think if you have those upskills, and if you're willing to throw yourself in a deep end just for a little bit to see, I believe that I'm always going to swim, and I really do have that passion and that drive. And I feel like that's why every opportunity that comes knocking, whether it be freelance or even a full-time position, I find myself going back to freelance positioning, just because I'm able to build the business that I would like to I guess, grow and nurture. And I can also learn other skills such as customer service or even knowledge that the clients teach me in a different field. I think it's really eye-opening.
Yeah, wonderful. And lastly, so what advice do you have for young fashion students today?
Yeah, definitely. I would say that if the opportunity comes knocking, take that opportunity. I have made some of the biggest decisions in my career by taking an opportunity and really just running with it. Of course, always making sure that you're going to have a business plan, which I think Nadia will touch on. But I'm definitely a believer that you need to have the passion and the drive and go with the opportunities.
Yeah, wonderful. Well, thanks so much, Danielle. Really appreciate it. And so exciting to see just how successful you've been since you graduated at Box Hill. And we love it when alumni come and share their stories with us. So we really appreciate you joining us today. And just a shame we couldn't get your webcam going. But there is a gorgeous photo there of Danielle. So
Yeah,
thanks to both our presenters, to Nadia and Danielle. We are now going to finish the webinar presentation, and we will be taking questions. So if anyone wants to add a question to the chat button, we're more than happy to. There were some questions that have come through. What job outcomes for first few months after graduating? So as I mentioned before, with our internship program, that's been really successful for our some of our graduates who actually, having completed, move straight into employment. Now, it's not always full-time employment, and our advice to students is, you know, even if you can get your foot in the door and get something in a part-time role, which is often what some companies might offer, you know, young graduates to start with, it's a fantastic opportunity because within no time it generally moves to a full-time role anyway. And most of the graduates will move into entry type roles. So it's really about identifying the sort of area that you want to move into, whether it be, say, fashion buying. And the types of entry roles in fashion buying are assistant buyer roles, or sometimes they're called buying admin roles. And that's where you're really working within a buying team and you are the assistant. You work closely with a buyer, so you'll be allocated a buyer. And a lot of it will be sort of sales analysis and data analysis to start with, and admin work to start with, and progressively those roles will then move into a buying type role. Or if you were moving into more the marketing space, again, it would be the sort of coordinator type roles, so a social media coordinator or digital marketing coordinator. So they're the sort of types of entry roles. And yes, the next question was, do most people get jobs? As I mentioned before, we've been very successful through our internship program with our students gaining roles. We also have an ongoing relationship. We're always there to support our students post your studies. We're here to help mentor you, and you know, I still have graduates contacting me years later, you know, for advice. So we're always here to help and support you. And we get lots of inquiries from the industry as well. And so we're always recommending students for roles. So industry come to us for recommendations. And so there are amazing opportunities in terms of just our network through the industry. And that's what's so important today, is having a really fantastic network. And we do have a really strong network of industry professionals. In terms of just applying for the course, all students are required to complete an interview for both our fashion degree programs. We are currently open for mid-year entry for the Bachelor of Fashion Merchandising. So you can actually book an interview now via the website. And for our Year 12 students who may be considering the course for next year, just to let you know that you would need to apply through VTAC. There is no ATAR score required for our fashion degree programs here at Box Hill, but there is a minimum English score of 20. And for international students, you will need to complete an application form by our international department. We offer the course both full-time and part-time, but for internationals, it would be full-time only. And one of the other questions I'm commonly asked is about contact hours. So the course is approximately 15 hours contact hours per week, which equates to 2 full days of classes, and that's 4 subjects per semester. So I think that is all the questions that I have received. I'd like to thank you all for participating in the webinar on shaping the fashion industry with a focus on the fashion business side of it. So again, like to thank our presenters, Danielle and Nadia. And again, thank you everyone for joining us. Have a great day. Bye. We're now going to go to a video which will be on how to apply, and that will be the end of the webinar after the video. So thanks again. The video will start shortly.